Hello out there in the land of drumming. You guys, all right, have reached Jeff Indyke, and this is the Jeff Indyke Drum Education Show, season number 6. Unbelievable. At the end of this amazing season, will actually, all right, warrant, all right, that I've actually, all right, been doing my show, all right, for 3 years. Each season basically being a 6-month period. I wanted to thank Public Access, all right, for inviting me here again. It's a wonderful feeling, all right, to be invited back, but to be invited back a 6th time, I guess possibly says something. Very, very cool. And I wanted to actually tell you, right, that we're actually on a continuation. This season's interesting because the last 2 seasons, season 4, season 5, I began a wonderful journey called the Mike Clark Files. And it was built off of Mike's amazing work on the record Thrust, which was considered, right, to be one of the top drum albums of all time. Mike Clark, right, being actually classified as the godfather of funk. I think, right, I'm going to get a chance, right, to meet him, right, in a couple of weeks. Terry Silverlight's performing down in Manhattan, and we're hoping, right, to get Mike down there, and it's going to be pretty cool, right, to have a chat with that cat. And so I'll talk, right, about that in a moment. But I wanted to tell you that if you guys and girls and have questions, right, about show schedules or things, right, that you would like to see for the future, you guys, right, can contact me at area code 516-263-9782. I can be emailed at thedrumprofessor@gmail.com. You guys, all right, can write me at Post Box 563, Plainview, New York, 11803. You guys can see me up at youtube.com, the growing generation of the internet. It's pretty cool. Free information to the public. As a matter of fact, all right, YouTube is the biggest thing, all right, that's ever happened. And if you guys, all right, type in my name on the search, you'll see, right, many early films. They're little clips from the first couple of seasons of my show, and some new things, and some Brit Files, and a lot of amazing things. Danny Britt is the executive producer of the Drum TV thing, and it's real cool. And we're getting, right, a lot of guys, right, from all over the country to contribute. So it's been pretty cool. Birdie's up there. There's a guy to look out for. Okay, and then what else is there? Of course, all right, drumradio.com, my amazing work, right, and honor to actually be part of that. And I do a section called Bonham's Up, and drumradio.com being a radio show for drummers to listen to different things. Rick Kay from Upper New York presents that, and it's a pretty cool presentation, actually. And I'm going to go to work. Now, I'm not sure there are going to be, this is going to be, right, the first file of the season, but it's really a continuation of the 14 files, right, which I actually did, right, last season. So I guess we'll call this Clark Revisited, some final statements, and some other influences on some things, right, that I wrote that were Clark influenced off of a film, right, that I saw that Clark, right, actually did. Now, these last few ideas, right, that I'm going to present you with today were from the end of the Thrust development, which I had written out, that I didn't get to. There's actually about 4 or 5 ideas left here. So this is literally, right, idea 58. And you guys, right, may remember last season, right, that I may have concluded with 57, if you have a recollection of that. So I'm going to talk a little bit around about these few ideas here. And the thing that I like about these ideas, right, is they're fragmentations. And they're also, too, right, very influenced in terms of, right, being able to do a lot of other combinations. And I think I'm going to get into a little bit more of a genetic feeling, right, upon some of these ideas. 58. Now, one of the things, right, about the Clark style, right, which I love, right, is that whole beat displacement sort of feeling. 58, right, really, right, has that element. Now, let me play the first 2 beats first. This is very, very hip. It's 3 and 4 and 1 E, the 2 and da. 3 and 4 and 1 E, the 2 and da. Now let me play the remainder of the measure. 3 and 4 and 1 E, the 2 and da. 3, the 4 E. Now that is it's an off-based 16th note triplet. It's kind of a weird thing. I like to feel it. 1 E, the 2 and the and 4. It's really like 3 and 4. So it really represents the duh of 3. Which in value, what would you guys say the value of that would be? What is the value of that? That's not a 16th note triplet. If you thought of that, it's actually a 32nd note triplet. It's really the 4-stroke. It's like the 4-stroke single. So, 3 and 4 and 1 E. I like to really let that drop fall slightly ahead of the beat. I give it that element, and that's really from my jazz studies. 1 8 2 4 1 8 and 8. Now let me show you how you can actually work it out. You can start it that way, and this is my favorite style of playing. I love this playing. I love this approach. Now, if you actually want to turn this into a more of a fill sort of a formula, start with a choice of rhythms. Let's take 3 measures of rhythm. A 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4. Notice the way when I return, I'm displacing the 1. Now, that doesn't mean that you might not want to return back to 1. If you're in an ensemble setting and the groove really comes right back in on 1, say if the bass player is really working down on that 1, you can do it this way. Now, it's kind of funny, right, because this is the 7th show of the season. I just came off of the Bonham approach of that 1, and that's kind of what that sounds like. In Heartbreak,